Hey guys, welcome to the show. But yeah, no, so when she was a kid, that's what we buy her. We go buy her some Skechers or the cheap stuff. But no, it was just buying those.
Yeah, the last time we went to the mall and buy some Adidas and Nikes for Sebastian, and now it's done.
Never do that because it's way too much.
That's cool, man.
Oh yeah, they're neat because they're small, and everyone likes small stuff that looks cute.
Yeah,
but you never want to spend that much on a pair of shoes for a kid. You know, it's like I remember one time it was wintertime and Haley needed pants because it was getting cold and she had no jeans. What's up, man?
What's up, David?
Howdy, Dave. And so she needed some jeans, so I was in charge of getting her jeans. So I went to Walmart and we went and I grabbed a pair of pants off the shelf. We tried them on right there in the middle of the store, and I said, "These fit?" She goes, "Yeah, I like them." Cause she was like, I don't know, 7 or 8, and I said, "Okay." So we bought. Sebastian says hi.
Sebastian, hi, Sebastian.
So I bought 7 pairs of pants. I bought all the pants they had in that size, jeans, and then we were done. Called up Sue and said, "All right, pants are taken care of."
What's up, Tony? Tony from UK.
Hey, it's Tony from the UK.
Bill.
It's Dandy from San Diego. What's
from
up,
Portugal,
Bill? Hey,
Bill.
Hello. Yeah, so we were just talking about buying clothes and shoes. I had to buy some new running shoes this weekend. Basically just update the ones I have because when you run, you go through them pretty fast.
Yep.
What's up, Victor? So I went to the shoe store, and I know shoes are expensive. I know they're very expensive. These silly things that I wear are not cheap, believe it or not. But I always try to, like my foot gloves, I always try to, Jeff from Dunedin. What's up, Jeff? Every time I run by his house, I think, hey, it's Jeff.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because on the way to the soccer field, his house is like on the left.
Cool.
But anyways, so, you know, I had to buy some running shoes. And I know shoes are expensive, and it's like $330 for the 2 pairs of running shoes because you should always buy 2 pair, and if not 3. And
what's up, Michael?
I was just like, oh, you know, because I always it's like I've been buying the same running shoe for 4 years now, so I would just wait and give the shoe.
Not the same shoe, but
no, the exact same shoe. Literally the exact same shoe. I'd have Sue buy it. So I'd give her the shoe and I'd say, hey, go to the running store and pick me up a pair of these. And so last pair she bought, she tells me this is the last pair. They're not going to have these anymore. And I said, okay, so I knew this time I was going to have to go with her. And it was like, I wanted 2 pair. Because I wanted... okay, Dean, any tips for beginning runners? I haven't run since sports... Okay.
High school.
Real quick running tip, 5-star running tip. Don't worry about time or distance. Okay, when you first start running, worry about A, comfort, and 2, not killing yourself or ending up in the hospital. Those are the 2 most important things. You're even okay not even timing yourself or seeing how far you've actually run. If you're going to run the clock and run the distance, you're always going to be disappointed. If you only run a mile, run a mile. It really doesn't care. If you run a half mile, run a half mile. The idea when you first start running is to when I got back into running several years ago, the first thing I had a route that I wanted to take through the subdivision. I was like, if I can get 1 time around this route, I'm awesome. It was about a mile, and it took me forever. I mean, I was dead by the time I was done.
What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jason, what's up? So then I started to run that route again, and pretty soon I was doing it twice, and then 3 times, then 4 times, and then 5 times. When I did it 5 times, Sue actually got in the car and went to find me because she thought I was dead on the side of the road because I was gone for like almost an hour and a half. Because I wasn't. But the other thing too is go to a running store, a place that is a running store, and they always have treadmills.
Yeah.
And they'll film you running.
Now they do.
Well, now they do. But they'll film you running. Buy a great pair of running shoes. Do not go buy some Nikes, some Adidas. Don't buy that crap. That is not for running, okay? They are not for running at all. You want to buy running shoes. Like I run with, I want to say they're Brooks. Really weird shoes that are made for running. So that is the most important thing. Good pair of shoes, and then just work yourself up. Don't kill yourself. And when it gets hot, take water with you. I prefer to, I have the little stupid fanny bottles, and I also have, when it gets hot in the next month or 2, I have a Camel pack that I actually run with, because Dude, even running a mile in this heat is retarded.
What was the other ones that you have? The Topos?
Topos.
Yeah.
For treadmill running, I use a brand called Topos. And the reason why I use those is because these are really expensive, and when you're running on a treadmill, you tend to run these things right flat. You literally sand them off.
Yeah.
So I bought these things called Topos, and what's unique about those is they're for people with wide feet. So they're really nice when running on a treadmill. Yeah. Hello from Sweden.
What's up?
Newtons. Thank you, Sue. Sorry. The brand I use are Newtons. I don't know what I was thinking of Brooks. No, it's because I was looking at a pair of Brooks yesterday that were pretty.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's like, ooh, it looks like a shiny fish. So, anyways, that's a running tip for from 5-Star D.
Well, the only time I run is when I go to the bathroom. That's it.
That's from eating Mexican.
Yeah.
Little,
I don't run at all.
Pichos and cheese.
Oh man. And Gabby knows. It's like as soon as like, hey, we're gonna go. I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah, trust me. We've all had that moment where it's like, all right, hey, look, when the cop pulls me over, just look, follow me home. Follow me home. Just follow me home.
No.
I lost 30 pounds, but I gained 15 back. So are you inspirational to me to lose it again? Hey. You know, I'm with you there. I went down that same path.
Nice.
You know, I normally would look like this, but last couple of years between the YouTube channel and me just not caring, you know, it happens. You know, life sucks that way. Sometimes you just gotta straighten shit out and get back to it. And but yeah, if you're into running, the other thing too is listen to your body. That's the most important thing, is listen to your body, because your body will tell you when you've had enough. And I've been to the hospital because I didn't listen to my body, and I passed out in the driveway and freaked everyone out. Literally got out of the car, blacked out, smacked into the back of Sue's car, ended up upside down in the driveway staring at the sky going, what the hell just happened? You know, $1,000 later, trip to the hospital, it was great. You know.
Wow.
Dehydrated. It happened. You know, I was stupid. But yeah, listen to your body. When your knees hurt, slow it down. You know, there was a point where actually I had bad knees, so it's like, you know, I really try to pay attention to it. But what?
Kid. Say I gained about 60 pounds with the wife when she got pregnant.
So you had a baby too. I'm only speaking because I have to. Yeah, exactly. That's it right there. I have to poop. Thanks, Sue. But anyways, you know, when my knees would go bad, I'd switch to biking. So biking is also a really nice alternative to running if you're not into slow speed, you know. But you know, once I didn't have to bike anymore, I went immediately back to running because I just find it much more therapeutic. And if you are going to run with headphones in, make sure you keep the volume low. Nothing sucks worse than getting run over by a car.
Yep.
So, okay. Enough run talk. I see we have some questions.
All right.
Hey, Dave from Plant City.
What's up, Dave? All right. So, this is, hey, guys, I have a question. If you can answer for me.
Yes.
I mount my amp under the rear seat in my SUV.
Okay.
There is room underneath. Yeah, but must not be enough room for an amp to breathe. Where at least can I mount the amp?
Dodge Durango.
Yeah, 2004.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Those are those cars that don't have a lot of space. You know, you might want to try a fan before you give up hope on the amplifier underneath the back seat. Stinger makes these long squirrel cage fans. They're not the big square box fan styles. They're these little tiny squirrel cage, kind of like an air conditioner fan, just micro, that work really nice. They come in two sizes, one about 3.5 and one 6-inch. You can do a push-pull thing when you put one on either side of the amplifier, or blow one at each, or just blow one on one side, have it blow air across the amplifier. I would try doing that before I decided to relocate the amplifier, just to see what works better, you know, if it'll work. Sound skin rings or fast rings? Now that's a great question, and I've been toying with the idea of ordering in some of the sound skin rings because it's a closed cell phone and an open cell phone. If you live in an area with a lot of water, or your door gets a lot of water, the sound skin is closed cell, so it's not going to absorb the water like a sponge, which I feel the fast rings may. We haven't run into any issues yet with it. We are here in Florida where it rains every day during the summer. Really just comes down to personal preference. I would like to try them. I feel I'm going to have to just order them and deal with them. Maybe we'll put them in one of our cars.
All right, this is from Matt. Hey guys, I have a major question. I have the Pack Pro line.
Okay.
Auto converter. I'm sure it's the Ampro.
Okay.
It's a 2016 Ford Fusion.
Okay.
The converter setup is exactly like the manual says.
Yes.
It is hooked up to the front woofer driver's side.
Okay.
And the amp comes on when the door truck is open.
Okay.
And stays on about for 2 minutes after everything is shut off and locked.
Yep.
Also, they only put out like 1.4 volts, not 4.
Correct.
Like they say.
Yes.
Any help?
So he has a Pack LOC, probably the LC7 too. Okay. So you have a Pack line driver, and you have a Ford.
Mm-hmm.
And it has auto sense turn on.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is every time you open and close the door, the auto sense picks up the subwoofer or the speaker turning on, because your car, every time it opens, it automatically wakes up the stereo, which sends out a pulse through all the speakers to wake up. That's normal. It's 100% normal. Ford does it, Dodge does it, Mercedes does it, BMW does it, Audi does it. All the German cars do it. But it's normal for it to do that. It's okay. As far as the voltage output goes, is that it can only give you the voltage output that has come in. So it has a regulation circuit that will choke down only so much power, and that's it. So if you don't have the amount of power to come in to drive it up to 4 volts, you're not going to get 4 volts out of it. LP72. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Oh, hey, John. What's going on, buddy? But everything you've said is 100% how they work for us all the time, and we don't have any issues with them. As far as getting 4 volts out of it, like they say, it just varies on how much voltage you have coming into it to get that 4 volt output. So, yeah, it's okay. Nothing you've done is wrong, and everything you've done is how they work.
Yeah.
If you don't like the fact that it turns on and off like that, you can find some other accessory source to have it tie into. That's up to you. We do hundreds of them that way and never have issues. So it's not going to kill the battery. It's not going to do anything bad. It's doing very little, so you're all good.
All right, Chris. What setting should I use in the multimeter to verify the signal coming from the speaker?
AC.
I'm trying to troubleshoot my sub that quit working today. The amp seems to be working. Try to make sure there isn't a cut in my speaker wire or somewhere.
So sound is AC. That's why it moves up and down. That's why you can plug a speaker into the wall and it goes brrr. So if you're trying to measure the output of the amplifier, you want to make sure your meter is on AC voltage, and that's it. Turn it up, play a 40 hertz test track or something like that. That way you can get a constant voltage output. You can play music and it'll just sit there and move up and down and vary depending on what sound is actually happening. If he wants to boost his voltage out of... Okay, yes, that's true. Jeff, PDLC21 has a 10 volt line driver built into it. Thank you, Jeff. That is correct. So for the LP72, if you'd like something with a line driver built into it, that's the product that we just listed. Jeff Smith there has mentioned it. It's not necessary, but if you feel like you want more output voltage so you can turn the gain down in the amplifier, you can do it. We've done both. That's up to you. It's not necessary. Hey, it's AVDC. What's up, man?
AVDC. Oh yeah. All right. Hey guys. Hey guys, you guys ever work with Memphis Audio at all? Had a set of the M class comp.
Yeah.
In the day, I would love to go back into them. Would you love the input?
No, you know, when I first started here, we were a Memphis Audio dealer, and now we were only that for about 6 months, and then they were gone. So we haven't really had a chance to play with them.
All right. 2002 Dodge Ram Infinity System. If I replace everything, head unit, speakers, and run new wires to the doors, do I still need to bypass the harness for the amp? does the truck
no. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, if I have a car that has a factory amplifier in it, such in this case a Dodge Durango.
Yep.
And you know what? I don't want Dodge Ram.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with having to bypass the amplifier. It's a pain in the butt to get to. Is it okay if I just run all new speaker wires to everything and leave it plugged in? Yes, you can do that. It's not going to affect anything. I would crawl up in there and just unplug it, just to be safe, so that it's not on, you know, because there's no reason for it to be on. But no, you can run all new speaker wires. You can do whatever you want. It's okay. No big deal there. You know.
There you go.
Yeah, it's okay.
Aaron, where can I find wire colors for a factory GM Bose system in a 2008 Yukon at the amplifier? Planning to install and using a factory wire and aftermarket amplifier.
So, the internet is an amazing place, but it's also a guideline. Like we have resources through some of our vendors that give us access, because we buy products from them, to websites like that give us that kind of information. Unfortunately, they're not available to consumers. So anytime we're doing a video, we don't really have that information. That we don't grab it, because we want to show you how you can find it. At the end of the day, the best thing for you to do is go through one of our videos where we put out in an amplifier or something like that. We're interfacing with a factory amplifier, and do that. It's as little as a 9-volt battery, and when you're taking the speakers off, if you're popping the wire while the speaker's in the door, you can find, you know, is it moving out, is it moving in? If it's moving in, it's out of polarity. If it's moving out, it's in polarity. Okay. You're not gonna, it's 9-volt battery, so it's like no amperage, so it's not gonna hurt anything. And then you can do it yourself. You don't need these wiring, because just because the internet said it's this wiring, there's been times where it hasn't been that wiring. And there again, we don't get lucky all the time either. You know, we get a Lexus in here that's, you know, 10 years old. No one has that wiring. We have to go find it the hard way. So we show you how to do that, and that's why, so that you have the ability to do it yourself.
All right, Donna say, when installing a radio in a 2015 Toyota Camry with JBL.
Thanks, Brian.
I'm using a Pioneer 8200 NEX with iData-Link.
Okay.
To install, going with aftermarket amp for speakers, do I need to hook up the factory amp at all? Or I do have to...
No.
The blind spot monitors and the Toyota Safety Connect.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Well,
so, all right. Honestly, I've never used the iData-Link for the Toyotas. I don't. Well, have we used the iData-Link for the Toyotas? I thought we've used. I don't remember. So typically, when you're doing one of these where you're going to bypass the amplifier, if you tell it when you're setting it up that you're bypassing the amplifier, and it has backup sensors, all that should be taken care of. BMS will still work. Backup monitoring system will still work. Thank you, Jeff. So there you go. So, but you will lose Connect. Okay, which makes sense. So yeah, your backup sensors will be fine. You don't need to leave the amp in place. You're good to go. All right. Damn, Jeff, you should have just came on the show. Okay.
All right, so let's hit this one.
Nothing, Johnny. Just doing our thing.
Hot. When it's hot,
Connect.
drink a lot.
Connect is external box. Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay, what's that?
When it's hot, drink.
When it's hot, drink a lot. Water is.
Watermelon is good.
Doesn't matter. Exercising or installing killer system. Okay.
Yeah.
That works. Hey guys, I'm in a group called Basehead 40 Plus on Facebook. Y'all are more than welcome to check it out. Okay, I will. Alright, hey guys, a little late update on Beetle. Had to send in, damn, to auto control. It was going into protect mode even without speakers connected and a weird crackling noise. They should have gotten it back to me today. I will update you. Oh wow, that sucks, Rob, but cool. We you know, it's audio control. They take care of their stuff. That's for sure. Hello from Nashville, Chris.
All right. Well, Yeah.
There was one other question about a 4100 that was back some.
Back?
Yeah, it was somebody was asking about a 4100 and being able to. I think I remember the question. So the question was, I have a 4100. How do I get the remote turned on to shut off the relay? So Pioneer did a funny thing, which I think it's only available on the 4200. Before, they used to have standby mode only in the radio, so that when you'd hit, you go to source and they'd show you the drop down, and at the very bottom it would say off or standby, and you'd hit standby and the screen would stay lit. The remote turn on would not shut off because it wants to have the Bluetooth for CarPlay, Android Auto, and just regular Bluetooth still active while the radio is technically off. So it's keeping the amplifiers on. Check the radios. I don't think it's on the 4100. It might only be on a 4200. They added what's called source off and power off.
Mm-hmm.
Source off is the standby mode, and power off actually shuts the radio off as if you were turning the key off and would shut off that relay. So without having power off in it, no, you can't, but if it has the power off feature built into the menu system, that would be how you'd shut off the relay so that you could turn the whole thing off. Some of the, I don't remember when they added it to that particular radio, if it was on a 4100 or it was just on the 4200, but that's what you're looking for. Chris from New Orleans. What's that device y'all use when fishing wires through the firewall and grommets? We use two things when we're fishing through the firewall. One, we use an 1/8 inch plexiglass rod that was about 4 feet long that I got off of Amazon. And two, we use a
big zip tie.
A big zip tie. We have air conditioning zip ties that we buy. They're 48-inch long zip ties. That's the other thing we use. We drill a hole in either end so that we can tie the wire through it and stick it through. We cut the stupid end off the zip tie. But those are the two fishes we use when we're going through the firewall.
Yep.
The reason why we use the fiberglass rod is because it's fiberglass. So if it, for some reason, when we're sticking it through, if it pokes anything, it's not going to short anything out.
Right.
Because sometimes bad things happen.
Yeah.
Part 2 of Nando's build. We haven't filmed it yet. We went to film it last week, Tuesday.
Yeah.
But Tuesday we ended up working outside for like 5 hours, and it was hot.
Yep.
Oh, dude, and
So
we were
like
both
done.
I mean, I literally went home and took a half-hour nap before I went on my run because I was dead. DNFToolDrawer.com.
Thank you, Brandon.
For sure. It's where you can find all the tools that we use in our videos. And yes, I believe there is a link to the fiberglass rod on the page. So
there you go.
Check that out.
All right. Will the Rockford T...
Hey, from Trinidad. Okay, sorry.
Will the Rockford T 750.1
yes.
be enough to drive 1 single hertz milli Legend 10
yes.
subwoofer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all day long. It's a 1,000-watt amp. We use that amplifier, like we've used it a bunch of times in the Tundra, and we drive 2 P3 shallow mount 12s.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 watts. Every birth certificate we've gotten on that amplifier has come with 1,000 watts, and I just stand there in disbelief going, there's no way. There's no way this amplifier that is this big. And every time I'm impressed. I mean, it's like, it's one of those moments when you wake up and you think, thank you, Rockford, for lowering the price on a cool amplifier so that we can actually sell them and let people know how badass you guys are for coming out with this product.
Yep.
There is nothing like it.
It's awesome.
It's just awesome.
It's really
and
nice.
every time we do one,
really
we just sit there and we go, how is that even working?
Yeah, exactly. And then
everybody's
like 8 gauge.
I ran an 8 gauge to a 1,000-watt amp, and it's no problems.
No problem.
I will say, do not use any glass fuses on them. Use the micro, the big ones.
Yes.
The plastic, stuff. Cause
all right, hey guys, how
One
much
link works for the 1/8 inch rod link is broken. Okay, I'll have to check it out. But that's the product. I'm sure you might be able to do a search for it and find it.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely. All right, hey guys, how much will adding a DSP improve sound quality, or will it?
So we had this brief discussion on Saturday. We were talking about how in Fernando's car we went ahead and put a set of coaxials in, and we were going to use it to test DSPs, and we got like, ooh, why would you do a DSP if you don't have if you're not going active? And it was like, well, because it's got a 32-band EQ on every channel. There's more to it than just active. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff. Now, will it make your system sound better? It really depends on your level of ability to adjust it. Sometimes when you throw too much paint at the wall, all you end up with is a painted wall that looks like crap. So, you know, like a Pioneer radio and a Kenwood radio both have 13-band EQs. An Alpine radio has a dual 9-band EQ, meaning a parametric one at that, so you can adjust the center points. But there's a lot to play with there. And they have time correction and crossovers and all that fun stuff. Now, if you just have a 3-band basic EQ, then upgrading to something with a bigger EQ is definitely going to help. The problem lies in that if you have 32 bands of signal to play with and no way to adjust it, like let's say with an RTA, even something as basic as an app on your phone playing pink noise to get an idea of what the curve might look at or where your deficiencies are at, it's like, I don't know what to do with it. There's just too many screws and not enough holes to put them in. Will it make your system sound better? Definitely, if you can figure out how to use it, it will make your system sound better. But out of the box, without doing your due diligence and a lot of time and effort into it and understanding what you just purchased, no, it's going to be frustrating. Very frustrating. But in the end, with time, you will learn to love it. Okay, sorry.
All right, Chris. Any way to keep the factory video entertainment center when installing an aftermarket radio? It's a 2005 Dodge Caravan. Do not know if it has a factory amp. It has a factory Sirius XM as well. I have kids and I really want to keep the video.
Okay, so here's the deal. Go on to pack-audio.com. Make sure that the RP4 RP4CHY11 works, and then they have a product called a RVD, I believe it's called, a CHY RVD. The CHY RVD combined with the Pro 4 is designed to retain the aftermarket the factory overhead with the aftermarket radio. It's a separate harness you have to buy. From that point, it doesn't matter if you have the factory premium sound system or not. It'll retain your steering wheel controls. It'll give you all that access that you want. The Sirius XM is going to be built into the radio, so you're going to want a SAT1, or Pack makes a new one of those too. It's a SAT01, and you're going to want the SVX 300 add-on tuner for it.
What's that, Clint?
Okay, yeah, CHY RVD. Damn, I just pulled that out of my head, Jeff.
Nice.
I'm there, man.
Winner, chicken dinner.
All right, so yeah. Hey, Clint.
¿Qué pasa, Miguel?
So those are the model numbers right there. Jeff just posted them. So if you write that down, that's what you want, as with the other SAT things I talked about.
All right. So Donnie, if you have an option.
Wait a minute. What does that say? DSP ability to improve sound is limited by the
what you
user.
Say.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. If you have one option to use, either
El Paso.
El Paso.
Okay.
Either the dash 5 1/4 or use the door 6 1/2. Which will you run? Both speakers have the same specs. 100 RMS, around like 80 Hertz frequency. 5 1/4, 6 1/2.
6 1/2 for the door. Damn. Okay, so if I'm adding a sub, I could probably get away with the 5 1/4 in the dash and feel okay about myself. If I'm not adding a sub and all I have to rely on for mid bass is like the speaker up front, I'm gonna go with the 6 1/2 because I know I'm gonna get more mid bass out of it.
I would go with 6 1/2.
But if I have a sub, having this up top higher usually sounds a little better than way down here in the bottom of the door. Doors for more mid bass. Exactly. That's why I said. And that Jesus, Jeff and I are on the same wavelength.
There you go, eh?
Oh, and the other day when we called you, Jeff, we were real close. We had to delay the driver's front speaker like a little bit more. It was funny. It was like it was off and then
but that was off, close. That was really close.
So we got it like boom, yay. So it turned out good.
Yeah.
There's no replacement for displacement.
All right. So
I like that.
Exactly.
That should be on a shirt. Liking the Halo 9 for my 2015 Kia Optima, but want to maintain factory components like backup camera, steering wheel controls, Bluetooth, and all that other stuff. And it went away.
All right.
We'll get back to that one.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, Mike. Hey guys, love your videos. I have a 2008 Trailblazer with Bose system and looking to replace it with an Alpine PDR V75 amp, speakers, etc.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Where is the best place to put the amp and the best place to ground it?
Do I have to run new speaker wires, or can I do the factory one?
All right, so you got a Trailblazer. It's got a premium Bose system in it, which means it's not going to have good... The speaker locations are going to be for that big Bose subwoofer that's in the door. First things first, you're going to have to make pods. You're going to have to make pods for the rear speaker, because in the rear speaker, it's going to have these crappy little 4-inch instead of what they're calling, which is a 6.5-inch. So we make pods for those so that we can go back to the factory 6.5. So get some plastic, plan on making some pods. The whole rear door assembly comes off. It's this funky little triangle. Take it off, Home Depot, make yourself a new template, cut a 6.5 in it, fixes the rear door. The front door is going to be that big mid-base. You're going to have to make some kind of spacer to get that back down to a regular like 6.5 size, unless you go with like the Kenwood 7-inch, and that's still going to be tight. As far as do you have to run all new speaker wires, that's entirely up to you, just like the question earlier where we were talking about the Dodge Ram. If you want to run new speaker wires, you can. However, if you don't, obviously going to where the factory Bose amplifier is, you can grab all the speaker wires there to attach to your new amplifier. As far as grounding goes, the shortest distance between wherever your amp is mounted and the frame of the car. So that's that. You know, don't do it to a seat bolt, don't do it to a seat rail. Make sure whatever you're doing it to is sanded and you have a nice secure ground that you can grab on, and when you grab it, it shakes the car because it's nice and tight. The other thing, too, is as far as the best place to mount it, it really just depends on the size of the amplifier that you have. There's all kinds of places to mount things. Work with what you got.
All right. Brian, 2015 Ram 1500, installing Rockford 250.
Wait. Before you go to that one. 05 Pacifica.
Oh.
Can I keep the TV monitor to use with a different radio? I'm going to tell you right now, in your 05 Pacifica, I got nothing for you. The 05 Pacifica is the nightmare of Chrysler cars. It is the car that was forgotten. I think Metra may finally make a harness for that car, but there's really, with that car, you know, it's
like the unicorn.
Anytime one comes in, it's like, did you have to buy that car? So unfortunately, I have no good news for you, but check MetraOnline.com and see if they've made anything for that car.
And if we find something, we definitely will. But
that is the just they don't make an amp pipe, they don't make an integration for the amp, or they might now, but they didn't before. They make a big harness so you can run it to the back of the car.
What's up, Andy?
Okay, so
sell it.
Sell it. You know, honestly, that's the kindest thing I could say for that car is just get rid of it as fast as you can. I mean, no offense to the car, but
no.
Woo, man.
Trade it into the Pacifica.
Trade in that Pacifica. Yeah,
all right.
It's just an installer's nightmare.
All right, so back to the question. Brian, 2015 Ram 1500, installing a Rockford 250.1 for the subs. And a JLD 606 for the highs and mids. Rockford, it's a 30 amp fuse. And the JL is a 50 amp fuse. I run 4-gauge wire to the back. And use distribution block to each amplifier. So the 4-gauge wire, it's enough to push both amplifiers? Okay.
Yeah, you should be fine with that particular system. I don't see any reason why, because you know, you have a highs amp, you have a sub amp. Your highs amp is definitely going to be more efficient than you're going to have it actively crossed over. You'll be fine. That situation, you know, back in the day, we do that all the time. As long as you have 100% copper 4-gauge kit, it's a good 4-gauge kit, not an aluminum 4-gauge kit, because that does not have the power rating to handle the amount of power that you have.
Thank you, Brian, for watching again.
Thanks, man. But the yes, you should be fine. Okay.
All right. So let's see. I just installed a Stinger voltmeter to my amp. Should I put a fuse?
Yeah. Well, okay. So Stinger voltmeter to my amp. All right. So if your amp is in the trunk and the meter's in the dash, and you ran a power wire from the amp to the dash, there should be a fuse back by the amp. Okay, because that's a live power wire all the way through the car. Now, if your amp is mounted here and your meter is mounted next to it, the focus just keeps going crazy on this. Then no, you don't need a fuse because it's literally, you can see the wire, you know. So it's a distance thing. Anytime you run a wire under a panel and go, it should have a fuse at the source.
All right. Oh, Manny.
Wait, do you have any videos installing a radio and a newer RAM? Yeah, there's plenty of videos on installing Dodge Rams.
Yes.
On the install diaries, there'll be plenty of Dodge Rams in there. We do a bunch of them.
All right. What's the difference between a seal up-firing subwoofer box and a down-firing box?
So typically you do the down-firing box because you don't have anything to load it off of, and or you just don't want people to damage the subwoofer. When we use a down-firing box as opposed to an up-firing box, it'd be, let's say we're going to put two 10s in the back of a Tahoe, or a bigger truck, or something like that, where it's like if we just fire them up against the back door, we're not going to get any air, because it's like door, sub. Whereas if we fire them down, we can lift the box up some and get a good 3.5, 4 inches. Now we'll have air for the speakers to move. The other situation for downfiring is like in a Jeep. We do a lot of that downfiring 110 boxes in the Jeep Wranglers in the back. The reason why we downfire it is two reasons. One, it's 110, the door is 4 feet away from it that it's going to have to load off of. Two, there's probably 3 reasons. Two, it's a small box. People don't want to take up a lot of space, so you can put it off to the side, you can stack shit on top of it. But really, you know, there's no wrong way to do it as far as do I fire it back, do I fire it up. The problem with firing up is a lot of the times it does this, and by the time it gets to your ear, it might sound funny because it's not bouncing off of enough stuff. But clearly that's not always the case. If you've ever seen Steve Meade do his truck, his all fire up, but there again, it's to get more air to the speaker. So it just comes down to what you're trying to do as far as getting air to the speaker. But yeah, so different situations, downfiring works great.
Yep.
In other situations, not so much.
All right, for Murai, I hope everything get better, buddy, and just positive vibes for you and your family.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like,
oh, okay.
All right.
Wait. Are you guys big into home theater? I used to be big into home theater many years ago before I don't know what happened. My personal home stereo is all Morel. We've talked about that before. Yep. I also have a bunch of Onkyo M504 amplifiers because they were cool at the time and they had the cool VU meters, so they look like Macintosh without the price tag of a Macintosh. I also have an old school Adcom amplifier that I love. So more or less, I have, 2 subs. I have a lot of, big stereo at home. But I kind of, I always use it. But no, not much anymore.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I got nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Building a system that will consist in 2 Alpine Type S 12 inches.
Yeah.
Prefab box. Alpine Type 6.5 components and coaxials in the rear. Power.
2013 Patriot, go to metroonline.com. They make a dash kit.
Yep. All right. Amplifier is a 9601.
Yep.
And the 8604. Do you think this setup, it's a good system?
Yeah. Okay, so we did a Tahoe.
Yeah.
For Lolo.
Yeah. That was Miami?
Miami. Probably 3 or 4 months ago. It's in the install diaries. It's a Tahoe, and it has the exact same system. What you just talked about. It's a 90. I think it might be an 8601. It might be a 9601 and an 8604.
Yeah.
We did all Pioneer TSDs in there. Pioneer subwoofers, full Pioneer system. It rocks. So yeah, it's awesome. Hey, from North Texas. Love you guys.
All right. So.
Thank you. JR.
In the 2002 Dodge Ram, if I'm bypassing everything, do I connect the speaker wires to the dash with my new harness?
So, okay, all right. If you're running all new speaker wires, it depends what you're trying to do. I mean, if they're going to run all new speaker wires up to the dash and then go to the amplifier, then yeah, you'd run all new speaker wires. They do make a plug. They do make a plug for that, where you can actually just unplug the factory amplifier and plug in the wires, so that you don't have to run new ones if you don't want to. But all new wires means all new wires. So if you're going to put like tweeters or mids in the dash and they're going to go to the amplifier, then you run new wires and you hook them up to the amplifier.
All right. All right. So Fernando, what do you think about the new Kicker L7Q class? How good they are? I haven't heard it. And I mean, I'm sure they're amazing.
Red did a set, didn't he?
Yeah.
He loved them.
Yeah,
we did get a set in for Red. That's the guy. Red is Sean, Bright Star Car Audio. That's who builds boxes.
But they say they really good, so I'm sure they good.
Once your home theater is all set up, you don't really concern yourself with yearly changes, only when necessary. Yeah, you know, and it's actually true, Chris, because I had my Pioneer receiver that I bought years ago, and I bought the biggest Pioneer receiver I could buy. This thing was massive. It was above the Elite class. They made one above the Elite. Like Elite was always a 9 something. This was bigger. This thing was so cool. Loved it to pieces, but it only had Dolby Pro Logic built into it, and I was like, I need something new. It doesn't have HDMI and all that crap, so I had to buy a new one. And honestly, I've just hated it ever since I bought it. I need a new receiver because I hate it, but it's like, yeah, the amps are good, the speakers are good. I went through all that heartache, spent a ton of money on that. No, I'm not going to touch it. The only thing I do is buy a new TV every now and then, which is funny. Sue goes the other day, she goes, we were watching a hockey game, and she goes, we need a bigger TV. I'm like, we were just at Best Buy.
Make sure you get the 80-inch.
Dude, we were just at Best Buy looking at the curve. Haley and I were just doing this. Looking at the new Samsungs. And I was like, what the hell is that? That's so gorgeous. I mean, I'm just staring at the black, and I'm going,
oh. You can see it from different angles.
The black is just so mad. I was like, oh my God. And then Sue's like, all right, come on, we need to go.
Oh, well.
Okay, sorry.
Next update, that will be the new TV 14.
No. No. No.
All right. So we're replacing my Kicker KS component, 6.5.
Hold on real quick. JR, do me a favor. Contact the guys at Bright Star Car Audio. Give them what you have for space, and they will make you whatever you need. So don't worry about it, man. Just call up, ask for Sean. He'll take care of you.
Tell you.
I don't know what their prices are. I don't ask. I just buy the stuff. But they make us a wedge for an F250 that fits behind the seat. That this thing is so tiny and cute that sounds amazing. Sean will help you out.
Yep. All right. So we're
okay. John Masario says, "Poor Sue." Let me tell you about that. They're good friends.
Oh really?
Well, they were boyfriend girlfriend in high school, but
okay.
Yeah. So, but he's married, happily married. We're good buddies. Oh, he's the guy that designed House of Beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
John, the other day, Fernando was like, dude, I saw this place by the airport.
Yeah.
It said something beer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And Casa de House of Beer.
It. Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I know the guy that helped design those, man.
That's awesome.
So,
all right.
Good on you, buddy. Hope everything's going up good up north.
I know, right?
Okay.
Okay, hang on.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're welcome, JR. All right, sorry. Get back to the question.
All right.
Get 4K HDR big. There's a big difference in the picture. Oh, yeah, totally for sure. HDR is awesome.
All right, so changing my speakers from the 6.5 KS to the T 6.5 will sound better?
Yeah. So we're going from K to T? What are we doing?
KS.
KS to
kicker,
T.
To the Rockford T series.
All right, so if we're just doing like KS to T1s, no. You're not going to be like... If you're going from like KS to T2s, then you'll be like, oh, damn. But also you have to keep in mind is power. You know, if you don't have the power for the speakers to perform, you're not going to really notice a difference when you go from A to B speaker, because I did that one. So yeah, he helped build that one.
Nice.
Yeah, it is cool. You do good work.
That's actually, I like it. Yeah.
Did you
when
go?
You passed? No.
Oh no, I know it looks so awesome. I wish I drank beer because I would just want to hang out there, but I don't drink beer.
I just barely drink beer. So.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Corona.
All right.
Yeah. I think the curved TVs distort the picture unless you're dead center. Well, that's where I'm gonna sit.
Really? Well, the last time.
No, I've been kicked out of my chair. I have to sit dead center now. Haley takes the one on the right. Sue takes the one on the left. I get stuck in the couch dead center.
Wow.
Hey, from Phoenix.
All right.
Okay.
88, 94 Chevy 1500 single cab.
Is that JT? Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
We got him.
Can I connect 2 subwoofers, 2500 RMS each, and a 2500 RMS mono amp, or do I need one more for each?
All right, so RMS. All right, so we'll generalize this question as far as can I? The question is I have RMS rating and power rating on the woofer. So in this case, it's 2500 watts RMS, and I have a 2500 watt amp. I'm going to use a story to answer this question. The Alpine R-Type has an RMS rating of 1,000 watts. Okay. They made an MRV 1000M amplifier. Okay? Something like that. It's close enough. Anyways, what would happen is people go on to the internet and to those wonderful places like Crutchfield or Sonic Electronics, and they would buy a 1,000 watt Alpine Type R. They'd buy that amplifier. Yeah. They'd, of course, it runs at 1 ohm. They'd buy the Dual 2. They'd hook it up 1 ohm. And then the magic would happen. It would explode and die. Why, you ask? Mm-hmm. Well, because RMS rating and actual power rating in the amplifier do not go like this. Okay? If it has an RMS of 1,000 watts or a peak of 1,000 watts, that does not mean it will actually handle 1,000 watts all the time. Whereas if you buy a quality amplifier that puts out 1,000 watts all the time, more than likely it's not putting out 1,000 watts, it's putting out closer to 11 or 1,200, which is way above the rating of that speaker. So you end up launching the speaker into the stratosphere. My rule of thumb is whatever this big number is that the manufacturer feels like it should put on the speaker. So if it says, oh, peak power is 600 watts, that's a 300 watt woofer. Okay, it means you can safely run 300 watts to it all day long and never have an issue. The problem where that occurs is depending on the quality of amplifier you're going to put it up with. Like you grab a Planet Audio 1500 watt amp that has a 30 amp fuse that really only puts out about 110 watts, not going to do much. So just something to keep in mind when you're planning these big moves like that, MRV 1200, that was a nice amp, is to try to remember, whatever RMS is, kind of cut it in half and then find out what the real actual power is of the amplifier. And for those of you that want to know cool power on amplifiers, where do you go? OldSchoolCarStereo.com, that's right. Awesome YouTube channel that you can see. He does amp dynos, all kinds of amplifiers. Yeah. He just did the he just did the Rockford 1500.
Big one?
Oh, yeah. Or, yeah, no, not the 25. He did the 15. That thing was, yeah, killing it.
All right.
They downgrade the Type R subs to 750. Thank God. Yeah, they totally needed to.
All right, I have a Chevy Cruze. I don't have it. He has
okay.
2014 Memphis monoblock 1200 watts.
Okay.
And two Pioneers 12s, the 303 D4s, the Champion Series.
Okay.
They're dual 4. And the Epicenter technique.
Okay.
Okay. And I still have a factory stereo. When I play my music kind of louder, everything turns off by itself. Any idea?
Turns off by itself?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like you're clipping it. But that sounds like, okay. If you have a factory radio, first thing you gotta know about a factory radio, if it didn't have a dedicated subwoofer output, chances are good that it's crossed over somewhere in the system and it's gonna have limited sound output. So like if you took an RTA and put it on the outputs of whatever speaker you tapped it into, chances are good where the sub portion is concerned, down on the side here where sub is, it's gonna do one of these things. It's gonna drop off and they don't wanna blow the factory speakers. So you're going to end up turning your gains up. Oh, hey, what's up, man? You're going to end up turning your gains up or your signal up or your crossover up. Either way, chances are good you're going to set the system up for failure in that you're going to turn something up too high. Now, the other thing you could do is grab your digital multimeter and go right to the power input of the amplifier. When you're playing it loud, see what the voltage is. Just like the guy that asked earlier ran a voltmeter back to his amplifier. The reason why I did that is so he could see what the voltage is at the amplifier while it's playing. You want to do that. You want to see what kind of voltage is getting to it before it shuts off. So for example, if it's at 13.5 and it's playing fine and then all of a sudden it shuts off and it stayed at 13.5, chances are good you have your gain set wrong. If it's at like 11 and it shuts off, chances are good you don't have enough power. Those are kind of the two scenarios that cause that. The third thing, of course, is heat, but my guess is you're probably not suffering from that.
All right, so Rob has a 80-inch curved TV, and he said he can watch in any angle with no problem with quality loss. So you can buy one.
I'm very jealous of Rob, and thank you.
So you want to buy one?
No. Handle 2 P3 D4 subs at 2 ohm, or should I underpower one? Okay. The T1005 we do not use when we're doing 2 P3 subs. Okay, we would split it up and go with the 404 and we go with the 750.1. We don't use that amplifier for that scenario. I'm sure it could kind of do it, but that's not, you know, no. I would just separate into those 2 amplifiers, run 1 4-bay each back, do a cool little distribution block off to the 2 8 gauges like we've done. Looks sexy. It'll sound great. Okay.
All right, question. The GM 8601 Pioneer says that it's mono 1 channel. Yeah, why does
it have 2 channels
have
on?
2 channels.
All right. We did a video on this not too last year sometime. All right, so a lot of people like to run 2 subwoofers. Crazy, I know. And a lot of these boxes behind me have a wire that comes out the left, wire that comes out the right. Now, if you take both those wires and you screw them into the same terminals like this, okay, you run a chance of not getting a good connection because you're like trying to go in there and it's like you got to jam these wires in there. And if you use anything like a 12 gauge, God forbid, it's not going to fit into the hole. So what a lot of these amplifier manufacturers do, one, to save money, because a 4 is a heck of a lot cheaper than a 2, is they'll put a dual mono thing in there. So you have 2 positives, you have 2 negatives. Sometimes they'll do it like this, and sometimes they'll do it like this. Inside the amplifier, it's just 1 bus. So the negatives are both on the same bus, meaning it's the same piece of brass on negative, same piece of brass on the positive. It's just allowing you so that you can run 2 wires into the amplifier to make your installation a little bit easier. That's it. That's all it's for. It's not... There's not 2 channels, there's not a right and a left. It's a dual mono input to make your life simpler. It also helps too, like if you have a dual voice coil woofer that you're hooking up to it, and you have you have a left voice coil and a right voice coil. You can run them right into that big fat wire and not have to worry about doing, like Y jacks and crimp connectors or big solder balls or anything like that to get to the woofer. It's just there to make your life easier.
Say hi, James.
Hi, James. What's up, buddy? Motorcycle life.
Motorcycle life. All right. Let's see.
You got it, Ricky. Okay, go ahead.
All right. This is
Alabama.
I just watched the video on why not to run tweeters from the head unit.
Yes.
Power.
Yes.
I'm running active setup with 50 watts RMS tweeters.
Yep.
But on the amp says it's rated at 75.
Okay.
Will be good leaving the amp gains all the way down, or get a 2-channel amp with lower power.
So the main reason why, like, that video came out was to not run the radio power to a speaker. Was because, all right, everything in life always ends up being set to the lowest common denominator. So, for example, school, business, food, health, everything we set to the lowest common denominator so that everyone is feeling like they're on board. And when you have to do that in your audio system, just like in life, it's going to suffer. So the lowest common denominator in a system like that is going to be the radio power. For one, you have a funky power band, meaning as you turn up the volume, it does strange things as the amplifier. It doesn't move up linear. It usually comes at some kind of a loop, which doesn't usually, the RCA output usually goes more to linear. And then it's going to distort faster. If you've seen any of our amp dyno videos that we've done, you see where deck power dies at this point here. So if, let's say, deck power dies at 28, that means now you have to set all your gains to die at 28. So now you have to turn the gains up on the amplifiers more sensitive. Anytime you have to turn a gain up, you run the risk of inducing noise. So now you have a radio that's going to clip out at 28. You have the gains on your amplifier turn up more sensitive than they need to be, possibly getting noise, to power some tweeters that are the most sensitive things you're putting in your car. Meaning all the sound comes from the tweeters. That's what people...
Very sensitive.
Very sensitive. And you're using the crappiest amp that you have to power them.
Yeah.
So, do I recommend getting a small amplifier just to power them? Yes. That's the easiest. I could have just said yes, but
I know,
trying to explain why
so he can see
yes,
why.
That's why. So
yeah, just get to okay, why? Yeah.
So that's why we made that video, and I wanted to get that out and try to, but it every now and then it gets kind of lost in the translation, and you got the guys going, oh, that's crap, and it's like, no, you're missing the point. Yeah. So the point is to avoid the lowest common denominator situation in life and in your stereo, and that's it. So buy the brick. Yes, the brick, baby. And that's a great option. Alpine brick, because the Alpine brick has the gain control, the Pioneer doesn't, which sucks. Or the new audio control ACM 2.300 is a great option for that. It's a small 150 by 2 little brick amp that is a real power amplifier. It's not a glorified IC power chip. Not that there's anything wrong with the Alpine brick amp. Love it. But that is a better version of it. Okay.
All right. So, James.
Here's something I do think I've asked. Have you ever installed a set of components and ran them active straight from a Pioneer head unit using network mode? Was it any good and worth avoiding? No, we've actually done it, and it sounded great.
Yeah.
We did it on a very basic system. We only went with like one subwoofer, something simple, and it was awesome. We did that from the deck, and there again, it was just a simple basic system. This is all the guy wanted. I think it was like a 350Z. We were impressed. And then we've done it big where we've just used the RC outputs into an active system for an individual, and that worked out well too. So
all right.
When
do you use a fuse or a circuit breaker?
When do you use one? Or what's the difference? Okay, so when do I use a fuse? If it's got 4 wheels and it rolls, I'm using a fuse. If it's got a motor and it's made out of fiberglass and floats on the water, I'll use a circuit breaker. What's up, Ada?
What's up, Ada?
I'm not a fan of circuit breakers because they're breakers. It tripped for a reason. Most people, when you can just flick it back, they go, huh, it's fixed. You know, it's kind of like a check engine light. When you can reset it and it goes away, works for me. When a fuse blows, it's blown. It blew for a reason. Something's wrong. Chances are good, you're going to have to come back to me and ask me, hey man, why did my fuse blow? You guys don't use breakers. We do not use breakers. You will not find a breaker in the store other than in the kit for the AC.
There you go.
I think the marine kits that Stinger makes come with breakers. Those are the only breakers you'll find in here. Not a fan. Had a bad experience. Solved the issue by just going with the fuse. Fuse blows, problem solved. Come see me, we'll fix it. Breaker, flick it yourself, rock on. Keep going. No. Now, where a breaker is nice is if you are a professional and you have 100% confidence in your ability to do your install, but you want to be able to turn the power off to the amplifier, you know, so that you can do services or stuff like that, or you're building an SPL system, you want to be able to turn it on and off, then, yeah, a breaker might be a good idea because you can actually use it as an on-off switch.
I break dance.
I break dance. I would love to see that.
I break dance. All right.
Damn, I have a breaker. There again, there's nothing wrong with a breaker. It's just not my thing. I ain't using it. Ever. Except for on a boat. And the reason why I make the sacrifice for the boat, real quick, is because it's a boat, you're on the water, okay? If you want to burn your boat down, that's perfectly okay by me. But on a boat, a lot of the times, mission-critical stuff is on breakers. And I've been on a boat enough times where it's like, the shit won't start, and I pushed a button, and the boat started, and I was like, awesome. Whereas if we had a fuse, my paddling my ass in, 40 miles, not anything I want to do. So that's why I'll use a breaker. Okay.
All right. So what is you
but
guys?
But I've been installing for a while. Well, then you're okay.
There you
go, Mike.
What do you guys take an amp wire?
Too. It does.
Why do you guys take an amp wire gauge reducer, like a 4-gauge wire to an 8-gauge?
Why do we or why don't we?
Why not?
Why don't we? There's no reason why we wouldn't. I mean, I used to do it all the time back when, you needed to run a 4-gauge in where an 8-gauge went. But I feel amplifier manufacturers have kind of figured out now and build the amplifiers accordingly. I know the SPL guys will get those cool, big-ass, where you can run like 4 0-gauge into the side of the amplifier so you get maximum current. And if you're trying to do that, that makes tons of sense. I like it. I think it looks sexy because, nothing is... Wire porn is awesome, let's be honest. Anytime you can look at a badass wiring job, you just sit there and go, that's so cool. But for most amplifiers, I think it's probably my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, Haley called me. For the most part, though, I feel like, you just don't need them anymore. Plus, the problem is you have to make sure you get ones that are right for the amplifier. A lot of those are center post mounted, and you need the offset ones where it's left or right so that you can put them in and turn them so that they go on the outside. So you have to be real careful when you're buying this thing. You said porn. Hey, man. Wire porn. But yeah, so there you go. I'll send you pics. Awesome.
Nice. All right, 2010 Dodge Ram. What's better for 3.5 and 6x9s? Cheap to best.
Cheap to best?
Yeah.
Cheapest is probably going to be your your Kicker CS series. That's going to be our go-to discount brand. Boom, here you go. Along with that, it's probably going to be some Pioneers. Pioneer makes a 3.5. Pioneer makes the 3.5 when it comes to 3.5s. That is fittable into a lot of these cars. They keep the tweeter nice and short and tucked into the 3.5. Allows you to put the tops on. Rockford Punch series also has a 3.5. They're going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit tougher to fit in there, but it's going to be a little better sound. You can put some power to it. What you might want to think about doing though is skip the 3.5 and the coaxial 6x9 and go right into a set of components.
Yes.
Now, when you do that, you can get into like a set of Pioneer TSDs that make a 6x9 component now, so you can put the tweeter in the dash, 6x9 in the door.
Awesome.
Alpine makes 2 sets. They make the S-Type, which are extremely affordable, and they make the X-Type, which is more. And then we also have the Full-Cal Integration Series, which works along those same lines. Now, Kicker makes a CS version of the 6x9 components, so if you're not going to be running more than, let's say, 35 or 40 watts of power, those are okay. They're not good for extreme amounts of power because they're crossovers made with a light bulb. As soon as you turn it up, it turns down the tweeter, and it's really freaking annoying.
Sony 3-way.
Sony 3-way.
Yeah.
If you want the 3, we're talking, keep it simple, man. 6x9s. That's what he asked. But yeah, so there you go.
Alright, so, okay, that will be the last one. Hey guys, my pack RP4 HY12 only works once.
Thank you, Mike.
Then, when the car is off, any amount of time, it will not work again until I reset. Any thoughts?
Okay. So if you have a module that's doing stupid things, the first thing you want to do is check the software on it, because not all modules that sit on the shelves are up to date. PAC tries to update their modules constantly, so does Metra, so does iDataLink. They constantly are updating these things for simple problems, something like that. A lot of the times these problems are solved by these simple updates. So what you want to do is, unfortunately, pull the radio out, check the serial number on the back to see what the software version is on it. Then go to pac-audio.com, go to the updater, and check to see what the most current update is on it. If there is an updated version on it, you definitely want to update it because it's probably something wrong with that. Are we done?
Around, yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us on our Monday evening. We didn't even really get to talk about anything but shoes this morning. Or earlier today. Bummer. Well, hey, as usual, if you guys want to buy stuff, dnftooldrow.com, teespring/store/5star. Old School Car Stereo, if you're a fan, he's got t-shirts and beach towels now. Yep. I just ordered some t-shirts. We should have them in tomorrow. I'm excited. We'll
Dana, I believe the 8200 is at 38.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
If we've done a video on it, they're all the same. Yep. So I think we did a video on the 4200. It'd be the same exact thing. But and Patreon, if you guys want to throw us money, we're on Patreon. Thanks you so much for watching. As always, you guys have a wonderful evening and
see you later
all week. We'll talk to you again on Saturday.
Peace.
Bye.